Welcome to page 9 of your probability packet. This is lesson 1.9, and we are going to be answering questions about sampling. Remember, the overall group that you want to study is called a population. But sometimes a population is too big to study or survey. So if you select a sample out of that population where every member of the population has a chance of being selected for that sample, it is what we call a fair and random sample. Let's answer a few questions together, and then you can complete this sheet on your own. Let's look at number 1. Christina wants to conduct a poll of 7th grade students. That's her population. To see how her friend Reggie will fare in his race for student council president. Which sampling method will most likely lead to a representative sample or a random sample? Now, before we jump into the choices, remember we have a population that we are studying. In this case, it's the 7th grade students. It's not the entire building. Her population is just the 7th grade. So let's see which would be the best random sample for the 7th grade. A, select the first 20 students that arrive at school. B, randomly select 50 students from the school. C, select the first 10 7th graders that arrive at school. And D, randomly select 50 students from the 7th grade. Well, let's talk about them one by one before we make our decision. Remember, the 7th grade is the population, and you only want a random sample of the 7th grade. So the first 20 kids at school may be 5th graders or 6th graders or 8th graders. They're not even in your population. And not every 7th grader has a chance of being selected. That's not valid. Randomly select the first 50 from school. Well, remember, the school has 5th graders and 6th graders and 8th graders. That's not valid either because your population has to be the 7th grade, and you just want to pull names from the 7th grade. Select the first 10 7th grade students that arrive at school. That's not fair either because they may be band or chorus members or orchestra members. Not every student in the 7th grade has a chance of being selected. So the best, randomly select 50 students from the 7th grade. This will give you your best random sample. It will be a representative sample of the larger population called the 7th grade. All right, let's move on to another question. Let's take a look at question number 4. The 7th grade class fall trip will be either to a fish hatchery or to an art museum. The 7th grade teachers are conducting a survey to see where their students want to go. Which survey is most likely to provide a biased sample? Now, a biased means a group showing unfair favoritism towards one idea or another. So, remember, we're looking for a sample that represents all 7th grade students. One of these does not. A, could the teachers ask all the 7th grade students? yes, that might be a lot of work, but it would be fair. B, survey every 5th, 7th grade student that arrives at school Monday morning. Well, they probably would catch almost all the kids, so that should be pretty fair. Would it be fair if they took a survey of the 7th grade students who are taking an art class? Well, that could be a problem because not every 7th grade student would have a chance of being selected and surveyed, and the art class may show favoritism for the art museum. That's unfair. But let's just read through choice D. Survey 57th grade students whose name are picked out of a hat at random. That would be random and fair. So the most unfair way to survey is choice C. Please circle choice C. Now complete the rest of these questions on your own. Please pause the video. And when you're ready, I will present the answer key at the end of this video. Okay, let's check our work. Make sure you've completed all the questions before you go through the answers with me. Clearly, for number 1, you should have choice D. Number 2 should be A. She's created a list using the phone book and is systematically going through the phone book, selecting every 20th person. Choice A. For number 3, you should have gotten B. Give yourself a C. For number 4, we decided C. For number 5, it is not a random sample if you survey just the people at the pizza parlor. It should be C. And finally, for number 6, you should have said B, random. That will always produce a good, solid representation of your population. This concludes page 9 of your probability packet.